Hey everybody, Brian Hunt here for episode 2 of the Gear Garage. And in this episode, we're taking a look at the brand new Mavic 2 Pro, and we're seeing how that stacks up against the DJI Inspire 2. So last week I received my DJI Mavic 2 Pro. This is just the 2 Pro, not the Zoom model. And I received this last week and I've been doing a bunch of testing with it, brought it out on a bunch of different shoots. And I really wanted to see, is this gonna be a replacement or something that I'm gonna use that I need to sell my DJI Inspire 2? Am I gonna be using this way more than my DJI Inspire 2? That's kind of like my big drone, my kind of drone that I use for getting those high quality images. Is this gonna stack up? And I wanted to compare and see what the differences are through the images. I've been hearing from some people and they wanted to know, is it worth me spending the extra money to get the Inspire 2, or should I be getting a Mavic 2 Pro? And we're just gonna take a look at this and see how some of the images compare and the differences between these two drones. So just to give you a little bit of background, I've had my Inspire 2 for just over 2 years, and this is an amazing drone. This can capture amazing quality. It has a dual batteries in case one battery fails. I can do 2 controllers. I can have dual controllers, so I can have myself flying and somebody else controlling the camera, and the camera can move 360 degrees independently of the drone. So if I want to do some really cool tracking shots and wrapping around, which you can do with a drone that's limited to your camera's always going in the same direction, but it becomes much easier with a drone like the Inspire 2. And also, you can change lenses on the Inspire 2. So I can change my lenses. It's a micro four thirds mount. It's a micro four thirds sensor on here. It comes stock with a 15 millimeter lens, which is equivalent to about a 30 millimeter on a full frame. And I have a couple different lenses that I can change out on using this for some different focal lengths. And the Inspire 2 shoots to one of these SSDs. This is one of DJI's proprietary SSDs, super overpriced for what they are. This is 256 gigs. But I can shoot RAW, DNG RAW to this. I can shoot a 5K at 60 frames per second. It does crop in on the sensor, but it's amazing to be able to do 60 frames per second at 5K. And it also does 4K at 24 or 30 frames per second in RAW DNG as well, or I can do it in ProRes. So I can get a lot of recording time on here in very high quality ProRes straight to these SSDs. If I wanted to, I can also shoot straight to the SD card on here. And when it shoots photos, you're shooting directly to the SD card. Okay, so this is one of the big factors on this as well over the Mavic 2 Pro, is that the media it's recording it on is allowing it to do a much higher bit rate and much better quality. And so those are some of the big differences over this and to the Mavic 2 Pro. Now with that being said, the Inspire 2 has a micro four thirds sensor. Okay, so the actual sensor that's on the new Mavic 2 Pro is a 1-inch sensor. And the Mavic 2 Pro now shoots 100 megabytes per second, 10-bit video. This is what everybody's been talking about. It's been the reason why it's getting tons of hype, is because of the size of the sensor and the bit rate that this drone with the camera on it can shoot at. But what are some of the downsides and the limitations over a drone like the Inspire 2? And it's pretty clear when you look at them side by side here, or one in front of the other. I mean, the Mavic 2 can pretty much fit underneath my Inspire 2. So the main differences over what this camera can shoot and being able to change lenses and have a dual controller is really the size, okay? The size is a massive, massive difference. And for me, when I'm going out to shoot a lot of things, sometimes I'm being hired to just shoot drone, and we're shooting drone with a dual operator, and we're doing stuff with different focal lengths, and people have really specific deliveries. They want stuff either delivered in ProRes, and they want stuff delivered in RAW. One of those two. They don't want an SD card for the most part. Sometimes for some work, they don't care if stuff's coming as an H.264 file or an H.265, but a lot of the work I'm doing when I'm being hired just as a drone operator, people are wanting me to use a bigger drone like this. Now, for a lot of my other work, and I say about 80% of my work, where I'm going in as a single shooter, or maybe myself and a PA, or myself and a camera assist, a lot of times, especially if we're mountain biking into a location, if we're hiking into a location, if we're on a ski hill, the Inspire 2 is a big drone. Okay, so the case that this is on right now, this is the case that I use to carry around my Inspire 2. It is a big, heavy case. Now you can strip it down, you can put it into the case that it comes with. People argue that's a much smaller case, but you gotta take off the camera, you gotta collapse the drone, you gotta take off both propellers. It's a big pain in the butt. I think this thing for me is quicker to have it in this kind of Pelican case like this than it is to have in the case that it came with. But if you look at the Mavic 2 Pro or the Mavic 2 Zoom, they're both the same size. I mean, it's the same as the Mavic, the first Mavic basically. It is so easy to fold up. I can fit into a bag that I'm already using, that I already have some other camera accessories in, and I can pull it out and use it so quickly. And I had a Mavic 1. I had the Mavic 1. I guess I've had it close to 2 years. I got it, yeah, about this time 2 years ago, or around in maybe October in 2 years ago. I used it on some trips over to Africa. I used it on some trips into the US for some filming things. And it was amazing, again, because of the size, of how well you could travel with it, how you could go to places where maybe drones are not really allowed, or maybe you don't want people to know you're flying a drone around, and you could come into a country and come to a place with a tiny thing in your bag. Most people don't even know what it is. When it goes up and flies, it flies super well. But the problem I always had with my Mavic Pro was that the quality of it, in some situations it worked out great. In some situations we used it for broadcast stuff. It was used for some film projects, but a lot of cases, the quality, especially compared to the other cameras we were using, did not hold up. Okay, in a lot of ranges, it would really break up. It wasn't a super robust image coming out of the thing. Again, I have shot beautiful stuff with it. I've shot amazing photos with it as well, but that was really my only reason why I would really prefer to use my Inspire 2 over my original Mavic, was just really came down to image quality. Okay, and being able to change lenses out and do stuff like that, but for a lot of my work, it just came down to image quality. So when I heard about the Mavic 2, like so many other people, we got so excited about having this better image quality. So I've done some side-by-side testing, not really a clinical test. It's not a very strict test, but I did some stuff where I was trying to fly with these drones in the same areas to see how they were working and how they were handling some the images. The good things, the things I like and I think are better on this Mavic 2 Pro drone over in my Inspire 2. One of the things is this drone is so fast. It is crazy fast, you know? If you put it into sport mode, it is ridiculously fast, but in regular flying mode, it is definitely faster than my Inspire 2. You can track vehicles easier with it. It gets up to speed very quickly. It flies super well. I would argue that it flies better and feels better when I'm controlling it in the air than my Inspire 2. I don't know if just because of how small it is and how nimble it is, but it just flies super well. The Mavic 2 Pro also has a longer flight time per battery than the Inspire 2. And I can charge these batteries really easily and really quickly. I have the car charger for them. The batteries that are used on the Inspire 2 take a longer time to charge. They take a lot more power to charge because the drone takes a lot more power, and I need 2 of them in here to fly. So the time turnaround for charging batteries to put them back into the drone to get up and flying again is quite a bit longer, I would say, or more cumbersome with the Inspire 2. But when I'm getting hired out just to do drone work, I doubt I'll be getting calls for my Mavic 2 Pro over the Inspire 2. Being able to change out lenses and have different focal lengths and having dual controllers is still a major advantage in some situations. Image-wise, the tests that I've done, the Inspire 2 in ProRes is still a better image, and the DJI RAW for video is much better. In some situations on my Inspire 2, I will choose to shoot 4K or 5K RAW only for the reason that I can then after, for one, I have more flexibility with that DJI raw video file in post-production, but I also can go through that. I can load that into Lightroom, and I can choose a frame. I can choose a frame of any of the 24 or the 30 or the 60 frames per second that I've shot, and I can use that as a photo, and it's still a very good image photo, because remember, when it's doing a DNG RAW, it's doing a DNG RAW image sequence. So every single frame of video is a separate DNG RAW file. Now, the downside of this is that it eats up tons of space on your SSD. So on the SSD, if I'm shooting 5K 60 RAW, I have about 8 minutes of recording time if I'm continuously rolling to a 256 gig card. So the process I usually do when I'm doing RAW to my SSDs is that I will only record when I want to get that shot. I'm not rolling on everything when I'm flying the drone. And I'm also gonna bring that image in after I brought stuff into Lightroom, and I'm gonna process out what stills I want. I'm also gonna bring the files into DaVinci Resolve, and I'm gonna change them over to ProRes, and convert them into ProRes. I'm gonna use the Blackmagic camera profile, and I'm gonna do some tweaks to the images if I need to bring down my highlights, if my sky's still a little bit blown out, or I need to bring up my mids, and I'll do that. Then I'll save that file as a ProRes file over a DNG RAW, because it's gonna be a lot easier for me to work with in post within Premiere or within Final Cut. So in some other comparisons that I've been doing with these two drones, what I've noticed on the Mavic 2 Pro is that the lens on the front here from the camera gets a really funny flare when you're shooting kind of into the sun, or you're having some sun flares on the camera. It's kind of giving a streak down this image. I have it in photos and in video, and I'm not a huge fan of it. It's a very strange looking flare. It's not cinematic, whatever that kind of word means, but it's not looking nearly as cinematic as the flares I'll be getting off of a proper lens, a proper Micro Four Thirds lens on my Inspire 2. You can see these two examples of basically the same shot with same kind of focal length, and the flares are looking quite different. The Inspire 2, in my opinion, the flaring on the lens looks much better. So the long and the short of this is, do I think the Inspire 2 is better than the Mavic 2 Pro? Well, it's so hard to compare these two things. Like all these things in the camera world, they're completely different drones. I do think, in my own opinion, that this Mavic 2 Pro is probably the best drone that has ever came on the market. I've been flying the DJI drones since the Phantom 1, when you didn't even have a gimbal on the front, when you just mount a GoPro and this clear plastic thing on it, and you couldn't see at all what your images was, and you put your own gimbals on it and just kept progressing from there. This has got so much better. There's so many features on this, and the stuff that I didn't even talk about in this video that you can see on so many other videos is all the other features in here, okay? Things that I don't really use that often, but things that I'm gonna start playing with a bit more, like the active track. And the hyperlapse is super interesting for me. I wanna try out some stuff with the hyperlapse, but as a straight kind of drone to drone test over these two, I'm still gonna hold on to both of them. I'm probably, as I say, gonna be using the Mavic 2 Pro for about 80% of my work. The Inspire 2 will be coming out on jobs when it's called for on that jobs, when I'm being asked to bring this out on those jobs, where I need a dual operator, when I'm being asked for a ProRes delivery, when it's needed on certain jobs. But I think for the major majority of the time, I'm gonna be using the Mavic 2 Pro. If you're a travel filmmaker, if you're a vlogger, and you're doing stuff more that way, you've probably already made up your mind. You're probably not even looking at the Inspire 2. It doesn't make any sense size-wise for a lot of people. The image quality, in my opinion, is better still off the Inspire 2, but not worlds apart different. It's not the same as it was with just the Mavic Pro. They are very close, and you can shoot some amazing images I've captured off the Mavic 2 Pro. So I'm gonna be holding on to both of these, but you guys make up your mind. I think, again, the Mavic 2 Pro is an amazing buy. It's an amazing deal. This one drone, Canadian for me, with all the batteries and my SSDs, is around $10,000. This one with 3 batteries and everything, Canadian, was close to $2,000. So huge price difference, but very close in image quality difference, or no difference. There's not too much difference that way. So The price says a lot. It does for the cost. It is an amazing drone. So thanks so much, guys, for watching this episode of the Gear Garage. If you liked this video, please give us a like. Please think about subscribing to our channel and turning on your notifications on so you can see the next time we upload a video and do another review in the Gear Garage, or watch one of our other videos where we give you some other tips and tricks and talk about things filmmaking.